Whoa, talk about an episode that grabs you and doesn't let go. Episode 6 of Chad Powers delivers absolute chaos, heart-pounding drama, and some seriously emotional gut punches as everything comes teetering on the edge for South Georgia's miracle quarterback and the team chasing a fairy tale season. So if you thought this story was just about football, buckle up, because this recap is about the ugly truths, wild twists, and the price of hiding behind a disguise. We kick off with panic and confusion at the Hudson Lake house. Coach Jake Hudson is suddenly clutching his chest, struggling to breathe. Classic heart attack symptoms. While Ricky, his daughter and assistant coach, and Russ, aka Chad, scramble to deal with calling 901. But there's a nasty twist. Their calls keep getting bounced around, stuck waiting on auto messages, and every second feels like it could mean life or death. Russ tries to lighten the mood with crass jokes, asking if Coach shit himself. But stress isn't letting anyone off the hook. When they can't get a car because Jake's keys are at the bottom of the lake and Ricky's Jeep is on campus, it's desperation time. Whiskers, the team's burned bum mascot, steps up, well, not himself, but his flashy Cybertruck, which Russ gets to drive in a mad scramble to the hospital. Cue the madness clumsy attempts to unlock the Cybertruck, cursing, physical distress as Jake groans, and Ricky's frantic efforts to keep her dad alert. All the little comedic touches, music blaring, mascot drama, that bizarre backstory of Whiskers, blend with real fear, and eventually, they get Jake to the hospital, barely. It's tense, raw, and you truly feel for this makeshift family under pressure. But the drama doesn't end at the ER. The news spreads fast at South Georgia's head coach just had a heart attack. With their biggest game against Georgia looming, the one that could define their whole season, the Catfish are shaken. Practically everyone is worried about their beloved Coach Jake, and the team needs a pep talk. Coach Bird delivers a message from Jake. Classic tough guy style. He might be down, but George is dead. Y'all beat M for me. Go Fish. That becomes the battle cry, bringing the players together for one last hard push before the epic face-off. Back in the dorms, Russ and Danny get real about the fallout, and Russ reveals to Danny the catastrophic truth. He hooked up with Wendy, not knowing she was Jake's wife, and now knows the Hudson family is in deep trouble. Wendy herself unwittingly sent Chad, Russ, away from the hospital, maybe to save face, maybe out of pain. For a moment, everything seems precarious. Jets, if Ricky, Jake's daughter, pieces together Russ's lies, it's game over for everyone. You can feel Russ's guilt and fear about what he's done. But he's adamant. If anyone discovers Chad's true identity, not only is his football run over, but the entire program suffers. Wins get vacated, reputations ruined. We are literally Marshall, he says, referencing the infamous NCAA scandal. The only move left is for Russ to disappear and hope Ricky, or anyone else, stays silent. But, of course, secrets don't stay buried. Ricky finally confronts Chad and nails him. You're Russ Holiday. All the elaborate scheming, the fake voice, and the on-field heroics boil down to a devastating reality check. Russ admits everything. He was hiding because he hated being himself, wanted to feel accepted, and craved that simple joy of playing football, something his real life never gave him. For Ricky, the betrayal stings so much worse. Chad was her friend, and now she learns it was all a mask. Her rage is volcanic, tearing into Russ for all the lies and the pain he caused. The episode's emotional heart is this reckoning. Russ, desperate, tries to convince Ricky that Chad, the persona, was real, that the team, the wins, the love for the game, his feelings for her, they all came from a genuine place. He's not just a clown in makeup, but Ricky isn't having it. She attacks him for causing harm, including almost killing her dad and murdering her friend Chad Powers, who was never real. Russ pleads, but Ricky tells him, in one of the episode's darkest moments, that after his infamous Rose Bowl blunder, she wished he'd just ended it all. It's brutal and raw, but Russ flips the script. He has leverage. If Ricky spills his secret, the entire program goes down, and so does her father, who orchestrated Russ's false enrollment. The only way to protect Jake and the team: play out the season. Ricky has no choice but to play along, her hatred for Russ burning at maximum intensity. Meanwhile, the team needs a quarterback. Jerry is set to start, and is both pumped and absolutely terrified, giving us hilarious locker room banter. Dobbs, the coach, is freaking out, convinced the Catfish are about to get their shit pushed in by Georgia. The tension crescendos. Will Chad show up? Will the team go down in flames? Russ, still desperate and lost, seeks out his own father, Mike Holliday, who's prepping for a Michael Bay war movie, hidden inside a comically overstuffed fat suit. Russ confesses the entire saga, playing as Chad Powers, living a double life, finally finding happiness after years of failure, and letting people finally believe in him. Dad's reaction. At first, he's baffled by Russ finally showing real ambition. As Russ spells out how he screwed up, how everything is probably ending, his dad forgives him and tells him maybe not everything's lost. Maybe he can still make things right. The heart-to-heart with his dad is a turning point. For once, Russ is honest about his pain, his need to hide, and the real sense of belonging he found with the Catfish. Mike gives his blessing, suggesting Russ keep the makeup kit and go finish what he started. Inspired, Russ rushes to rejoin the team, just in time for the pregame huddle. His reappearance shocks everyone, especially Jerry, who's been holding down the fort for years without glory. Russ returns as Chad, but now everyone's walking a thin line, the lies barely covered up. Ricky steps in to defend Chad, spinning a story about Chad's mental health event to keep everyone quiet. The team rallies around Chad and Coach Hudson, their mission clear: beat Georgia and make Coach proud. The closing montage is pure sports movie magic. Stadium noise, marching bands, fans roaring, that electric anticipation before the biggest game of their lives. Russ, Chad, steps out, all eyes on him, carrying the season, the team, and his own redemption on his shoulders. If you thought this story was just going to be about a prankster quarterback, this episode says otherwise. It's about lies cracking open under pressure, families and found families fighting to survive, and that hard edge between forgiveness and justice. So, there you have it. Episode 6 of Chad Powers is all about high-stakes secrets, brutal honesty, and the desperate hope that maybe, just maybe, people can forgive and come together when it matters most. Will Russ's deception unravel? Will Coach's heart and reputation survive? Will the Catfish finish their football miracle? Only time will tell, and with Chad back in the lineup, the team is racing headfirst into destiny. If you loved this breakdown or felt the dramatic weight of this episode, let me know what hit hardest for you in the comments. Make sure to like, share with your football-loving friends, and subscribe for all the latest deep dives, recaps, and wild story twists. Catch you next time, and keep rooting for those underdogs.